Which type of approach did you use in your middle school classroom?
I used the additive approach. My philosophy was just to incorporate it whenever it seemed to fit within, and not to overly try too hard, but to visit factors, whether we were dealing with different areas of the world or different people who came up with science ideas. And that's where we added it in.
Okay. And did you ever wish that you could have went up a step further and there was some reason that you didn't, or what would be the factor that you weren't allowed to go on to the next approach?
Yeah, I think it is something that you're always trying to work towards. I did have somewhat of a diverse classroom, and so it was nice to have students who had opinions and wanted to add different things from their cultures. I think it would be nice to get into a computer lab more often. We didn't have access to our computer lab quite as easily as we would like to, so if we had that, then we would definitely be able to go and research a little bit more on it. So yeah, I would love to have gone a step farther with that, but wasn't always able to.
Yeah. So what do you think the students are gaining out of adding culture into the curriculum? Like, what do you think are the main priorities and high points that they get out of it?
I think it's just being able to relate to other students better in other cultures, understanding their background versus your background. I think the more knowledge we have, the more power we have to make good decisions and to understand and be more tolerant of other people and why they believe the things they do versus what we believe. So that's how I feel. Yep.
Okay. And did your difference, your ideas about how you were going to add culture into the curriculum, did it ever change based on when you were a student and then when you actually went into teaching it?
Yeah, absolutely. It changes every year, I think. I think it changes if you have new students who have different backgrounds that come into your classroom and you learn more about that. I think it changes as you grow in teaching and you're given more knowledge through different things that you take or different people you encounter who give you different. I think it's very good to have a checks and balances with somebody who has a different viewpoint than you, and I think you're always striving to change it and make it better. So.
Okay, so what type of approach do you feel that you use in your classroom for putting culture in the curriculum?
I tend to use a lot of the literature that the fifth graders can relate to. A lot of social or civil rights literature that has a lot of cultural value to it. So we do a lot of discussing and synthesizing with the kids when it comes to multicultural aspects of things. So that would be the decision-making and social action approach. And lots of times I let the kids take off on their own discussions about what's right and wrong or fair and unjust. And that gives them a chance to make their own decisions about different cultures and their own. Most of the time, it lends for a lot of discussion and a lot of kids' emotions come through when we talk about civil rights and other cultures being treated unfairly, and so it's a good way to get their opinion on things and have them make their own decisions.
Mm-hmm. Do you think there's anything you would like to add that you don't have time to that would breach more on the culture in your classroom?
These days we're so not tied down, but we have a lot of things to do in the classroom as far as testing and skills to master. So it's really up to the teacher to try to add in to the best of their ability to add in multicultural aspects to the curriculum. But speaking for the curriculum that's already in place in Lincoln Public Schools, it does a pretty good job of letting teachers develop their own approach to multiculturalism in their classroom. You can extend the kids' learning by adding in music from other cultures, which is a big motivator to a lot of kids. During writing and during independent work time, if you have a little background music and you identify which culture the music is coming from, a lot of kids will tend to be motivated to work at a different pace than what they would normally work. So if I could change one thing, it'd probably be more time in the day, but that's not possible. So you just got to do what you can to add in, where you see fit.